I'm not sure if you can see that there. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. A-P-E-P. Anyone have any idea what that means? An enemy? What enemy? Whose enemy? Humanity's enemy? It is interesting. When you start to depict what they're actually saying, it's almost like they coded everything when they were writing it, and then they coded it just a little bit more. It's like, yes, you can break the text, but can you break what they were thinking at the time or referring to? That's the next big question, isn't it? Yeah. Taste thou death. Meaning, Ra's triumph over Ape. Ape? Ra being who? The gods? Sun god? Wins with who? Or whom? Who? Yeah. Yeah, what do you think that means? I'm obviously prodding at your thought process here. Ape is given to the flame, meaning a fire on earth. Interesting. What fire? What is this referring to? Does it mean that it's a way to get my enemies through this? No. This is plain in sight. The Eye of Horus shall summon all the enemies of the mighty God. It's very interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting. Interesting. Onward of the storms, thou shalt. This is very interesting of what they're suggesting here. Way before their time. Way before their time. I mean, who gives you this knowledge to be, oh yeah, we're going to code that and hide that away? I don't get the part of hiding it, but I think it's hierarchy, power, and therefore thy shall always be the leader in sort of. But if you miss out the information, it's kind of, what's the word? Most regimes, power, establishments, come on, we can all admit this one right here, and I'm not putting this video anywhere apart from backing it up. But the thing is, if you're a great leader, what is the one thing that leaders do not like? Losing their power. So, what's a way to guarantee that you never lose the power? Well, be able to decode this. Not from the text itself, but this means something. Okay, now I've been taught something now. Okay, now I understand this because of what I've been told here. Now this makes so much sense. So yes, the let's say hieroglyphs are like, you know, oh, what does all of this mean? What does this mean? What does all of this mean? What does it mean? What does any of that mean? So you sit there, you're thinking about it as an outsider, and then you can break that. But it's the bit that they've hidden on top of that. That gets you halfway there. Very good, you can read this, okay, wonderful. But without the word of mouth being passed down generation to generation, it kind of makes it so that the empire of Egyptian understanding, ancient Egyptians, were always the ones that had this knowledge. And therefore, if you tortured them, killed them, you are only left with small pieces of a puzzle that mean nothing. And then you can come up to all sorts of wonderful things as to what it means. Well, it could mean death of the enemies. Yeah, it could. It could, but what enemy? Whose enemy? Humanity's enemy? If some information was passed on or they discovered something, they're going to hide it. And therefore, if someone takes the life of them, it fucks you all over. Why? Because they don't want to lose their power. And I think much is to be said today. Most leaders won't want to lose their power. I think that's how it is. So they hold on to it. They stand on the steps, so to speak, and they're like, no, I'm staying here all the way. That's it. Yep, that's right. Come on, let's keep going. I think it's wonderful that we have a democracy in that aspect. But it's the people that are under you, it's not their fault. They become the innocent ones. They are the innocent ones that are... They might not want it like that themselves, but they have to endure that. I think that kind of makes a strong character, to be honest. Yeah, no, this is definitely something. They're talking about something else. And the papyrus. I'm gonna play around with some of this because I got a hunch. I don't think it's all for wonderfully drawing on. I think it does something. A wax figure. If you can leave a wax figure outside and it begins to melt, that's a telltale sign. Therefore, it's an indicator of what? Things are getting too hot. Therefore, there is a common enemy that might be approaching. Taste thou death. Thy death. I don't know what that is, how you pronounce that, but even still. At the end. Oh, an end to thee. A end to thee. Who? One person in particular, or humanity? Think about it. Flames, God, sun god, Ra had the power to move out of the way. It we looked at as evil because it wants to take and destroy, whilst the other one is giving. It is life, it is growing, it is nurturing. And then you have one that isn't nurturing. Wax figure. Well, that would melt quickly because if when I put it near this fire, it starts to melt away. Very interesting. The sand shall be moved from the east to the west. Preventative. Papyrus sheet. If thou wouldest destroy Epi. Who destroyed with using magic and go away and disappear and don't come back? Yeah. And to put green across the papyrus. Come on, I did this with a green lens. You must have seen it. You took it off of my YouTube. I understand why, and it's fine, it's absolutely fine. But reading between the lines in green color upon a sheet of new papyrus. Papyrus? Yeah, there you go. Filter. Filter to be able to see something. I used the green, it was pretty deliberate to be honest. It appeared green. And therefore, nature knows. Green. And therefore a wax figure with the colour of green. Interesting. This is so very interesting. These Egyptians were pretty damn clever, man. Way before their time. Way before their time. But I don't think that they gave all of the information willy-nilly because I don't think they wanted to lose power. None of the Egyptians, ancient Egyptians, wanted to lose the power. And that's still to be said. And if we come from dictatorship and we moved into this thing called democracy, which is almost close to being healthy, you see, the information is shared and passed down and documented. It's interesting. But back then, I don't know if it was all about democracy and votes. No, I think it was more dictatorship. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to say it moved into that, didn't it? From tribes to dictator to be powerful than the best tribe out of the best of all tribes. Yeah, there comes a level of dictatorship with that. That then they begin to dictate to all the other tribes. It's... I don't know, there's something here. I just can't leave this. This will not let me settle. An uncanny pull to witness this. And there's something in here about as well as their fathers and their mothers and children. Again, talking about this Epi? I don't know how to pronounce that. I would need to type it into Google and then listen to it in order to... Who cares? You know what I mean. A-P-E-P. kick them with the left foot to keep the rain and the storms and the thunder and lightning and the mist and cloud, to ensure bright clear skies where the sun might run his course. Yeah, interesting, very interesting. And then we have the Mayans as well. The Mayans were very understanding with calculations. It's not uncommon for one tribe to travel and go and eavesdrop on another or versus another, whichever one came first. Not here to sit here and argue that, but there would have been some belief and hearsay surrounding, you know, they didn't just come up to it and was like, oh, we're just going to go build the pyramids. And then the Mayans were like, oh, we're just going to build the Mayan temples. We're just going to go and do, no, there was building from that. There was knowledge being condensed and expanded, and therefore, whichever one these tribes were definitely about, so therefore the thinking process could have been listened to. Yeah, interesting. Hey, Egyptians, guess what I heard? This, and this. Or hey, Mayans, guess what? We saw this, and this. The tribes of the time were condensing this information and using this information, and it grew. It didn't just fall on their lap from the gods and was like, oh, okay, right, yeah, thank you, okay, right, it says we are to do this. No, they grew with this thinking, and it expanded so much so, that's then when it comes to the crux of let's build something. Because they all seem to do it. If you notice that, they all seem to have that common characteristic of the information condensing, and then a spark of let's build it, let's write this, let's make ours the biggest, the best, so that if anybody saw it, they want to join up with us. We'll lead the leaders, we will be the dictators, and we'll say how to all these people will need this, and that. Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. So, wax played an important role. That's why I'm lemon attached to the bodies of the dead as an amulet. La-di-la-di-la. The best way to hide your secret is in a coffin. Literally inside a tomb. Because most beliefs around that time would have had an understanding that burial desecration, although it happened, it was, I think, from the standpoint of where humanity comes from, it's looked at as very poor taste to go and dig somebody up in their resting places. And if they had the belief that in the Mesolithic period, the animal spirit look after this, the animal must be treated with respect, even though you're going to eat it, different stuff like that. I think that there would have been a cherishing understanding that you wouldn't do that, and a Machiavellian understanding that you take this info with you, and different things are put inside a tomb here, there, and everywhere, and only the ones with the knowledge to access those tombs could be able to see the different in order to then, you know, refresh or learn. As much as when you go into a tomb and you see it, you're learning new stuff. And there's this strange sort of puzzle starting to emerge of pieces here, pieces there, and it's all starting to fall together. And it's very strange, isn't it? It's very strange how these puzzle pieces then start to click together to make this sort of picture that is like, yeah, I mean, I've still only got a part of the picture, and then the rest of it comes from outside. It's, oh man, it's like bringing the two worlds together would really confuse your enemy as to be lost in this. This means this, but then what does that? Well, they were just, you know, they were just primitive. I'll read more of this. I think I will get through this. I'm not one for reading, but I don't know. When I start to see things like that start to make their appearance, and then I look back at what I've been doing. I mean, I've had this book for a while, and I only read one spell, Oh Light in Me, Step in Me, and all of that. I was reading that one a very long time ago, actually, when I was in Banham. There you go, because I got that from a charity shop near the Pet Hut. Don't remember what that one was now. I think I got it from there. Yes, I did. And I just left it on the shelf, and it caught loads of dust. There you go. And I didn't read it, and then all of a sudden I've been on this little journey of my own, okay? Not getting big-headed, because I'm just saying it as it is. And I was doing all of these things, and then I was just like, man, this is fucking weird. And then I picked up this book yesterday, day before, a couple of days ago, something like that. And I was and then I was just like, holy shit, I'm finding some parallels into some of the stuff I've been doing. Fuck this ego shit. That I have been writing this stuff and being on this own little journey myself, and now it's uncanny how you see some of the hints are in here. The sands from the east to the west. Interesting. That is fucking interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. So, and then there was just more. So, I haven't got that far in. I picked a page in the middle there, and I started from basically these symbols. I was just learning these symbols here. And what they do and what they mean and different stuff like that, and which is what, page 51. So yeah, I kind of didn't just open the book at page 1 and was like, yes, now we're going to go for all of... No, I read backwards from this spell of this light coming to me. You know, that one I read before, but I was just brushing up on it. Yeah, interesting, very interesting. So far there are some parallels, if that's what it's called. Yes, parallel. There's some sort of... Very interesting. And while I'm there, I'm thinking to reverse the thought play of what happens if it went opposite. So if it's getting hot, I'm thinking about, at the same time as this process of thinking of it getting hot, also about it getting colder. What if there's another ice age? Whew. Yeah, we might as well, while we're here, might as well get both these all checked off. You know, because life teaches you that there is a sort of yin and a yang, although no religious sense of it. I mean, like, there's a light and a dark. Yeah, you get what I mean. Yep, so I'm going to leave this here, because that's as far as I've got so far. Yeah, so somewhere there, from 51 to something like 80 in this book, 79. 80, yeah, around that, 86. Now we still keep going. So I've got some more reading to do, and then I shall update with what I'm seeing with this. No, maybe it's nothing, but... Yeah, doubt it. It's something here, it's parallel.